Friday means fun time. Welcome to your favorite TV show, PM Personality Profile. My guest tonight, he's a politician, former Kumasi mayor. You remember in 2018 when he announced his intention to contest the NDC flag bearership race? Yes, he's a politician. He's also a businessman, a football administrator. Kojo Bonsu, my guest tonight. Good to see you, Kojo.
Good to have me, Aisha.
Do you have a Christian name?
My name is Michael.
Michael?
Yeah.
So you decided to leave that for the Queen?
Yes, I mean, my parents and especially my mom used to call me Michael. She loves Michael.
Okay.
But I believe I was a patriotic Ghanaian, and I wanted to have the name Kojo Bonsu. And that is how I was born. I was born on a Monday, and named after my grandfather, great-grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So Kojo Bonsu, I prefer that to Michael Mensa Bonsu.
Okay, so Kojo Bonsu. Were you born in Offenso? You hail from Offenso, right?
I'm from Offenso.
Okay.
I was born in Kumasi.
Okay. I'll talk about that, but immediately let me pick your thoughts on this MMDCE brouhaha. I mean, first it was the delay of the list. Now the list is out. People are agitating. I mean, what do you make of this whole scenario?
I think it's all about government. Is the government preferred coming out with the names very late? That one I don't have anything to say about it. The appointment for the mayor of Kumasi, that's what really concerns me. I think they've done a political appointment. I don't have anything against or have anything about the new appointed guy, Mr. Sampai. I've heard a lot about him. I've listened to him on radio. He makes very good arguments. But Kumasi's job is a bit different. I pray and hope that he can do what the Kumasi people want. The Kumasi people like boldness, somebody who can think outside of the box, and he should be well placed for the job and to be able to take decisions out of the box. I would encourage him to be able to do well.
Looking at what has happened with all these local governance issues, are you for those who are calling for the voting of MMDCs?
Yes, but I have it in a different way. The voting must be done outside the capital. So all the metropolitan assemblies should be elected by the president and the rest should be voted by the local people. Because the 16 regional metropolitan assembly needs to be people who, or someone who understand what we call local governance and understand proper municipality job.
So I think I saw more of you. In fact, you were in my studio when you declared your intention to race for the flag bearership. Since then, what have you been up to?
I'm a businessman trying to run my business quietly, just watching what is going on.
Okay, you're making a lot of money too.
I'm trying. Things are not that easy. So just trying that I can make the ends meet.
It is possible.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the man Kojo Bonsu. So you hail from Offenso, you were born in Kumasi. I know you ended up in Tamale. I mean, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Accra. At a very tender age, my senior sister was married to the director of state protocol to Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
So my mom maybe thought I could have a better training. So at the age of 4, I was given to my sister. My sister then hadn't had any children.
Okay.
So I was given to her for her to look after me and take good care of me.
Okay.
So I had a very interesting childhood. I really enjoyed my childhood.
Share with me.
I was like a presidential son.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if I want to take you back, I don't know. My brother-in-law, who I always will look up to, even though he has passed.
Yeah.
We're very close to Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
And we lived at the Flagstaff House. The gate, I'm sure if you heard of Kankanyami, that house was where they did the Kankanyami, and that is where we lived.
Okay.
So when I grew up and I heard Kankanyami, it was a story to me. I didn't believe it because I knew what happened there.
Okay.
And every morning, especially Saturdays, Osavjifu would call me, hey, Benyin, you know, I mean, he's,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, he pepped me up. Always would hold my head, you know, and they push me.
Oh, wow.
Then we walk into the Flagstaff House.
You are lucky.
Speak to us, give us sweets. Then we walk back, then my brother-in-law would go to work. I was a pet boy of my brother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
So I even named my first son Michael after him, Kofi Osudako. It was quite interesting. And let me tell you a bizarre moment that I saw. The day of the 24th February 1966 coup.
You saw it?
I saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that was one of my terrible moments
Must have been
growing up.
traumatic.
It was very traumatic. Early morning around 7:30, I saw General FIFA, Ankara, Kotoka. They all walked into our house. And that house was very close to the Flagstaff House and close to Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
Yep.
So I'm sure after making the announcement, they walked to our house because they saw that that is where all the key things are. So they were looking for my brother-in-law. And I was the person who saw them.
Wow.
I saw them holding guns and I was traumatized
Yes, you
when I
will.
saw them.
At what age?
4.5, 5.
Ooh.
Yes. And to be honest with you, I wasn't very happy.
Yeah.
And at that time, my sister was pregnant. Then what happened was she came and told me to go inside. You know, she took me into a bedroom and we all went into one room and locked ourselves up.
Okay. And at that time, where was your brother-in-law?
They had just taken him away to Flagstaff House
Ooh.
under the thing of a gun.
Okay.
They took him out. They were holding guns and they took him into the Flagstaff House.
Ooh.
Around 11 o'clock in the day, around in the morning, they brought a big military truck called Abungu.
Okay, at that time.
At
that's
that time,
how
they
you
used to
refer
call, I'm sure everybody who knows Abungu, some big Bedford truck. They picked us all up, pushed us in the Abungu, and they took me to my granduncle's house, Mr. Kofi Tijina, at North Kanishi.
Okay.
So we left, went there, and we were kept there. So it was over 2 weeks. As for my sister, she was with us pregnant. But after 2 weeks, I saw my brother-in-law. He came back to us. And they had given him a position to work with the Foreign Affairs again because he
Oh.
was a diplomat.
Okay.
So
Did this have any impact on you growing up?
it did because I was very proud to see all that went on. And also I started very well. And I went to a school next to GBC. It's called Ring Road Primary School. Have you seen that school?
Oh, yes.
Ring Road East Primary School.
Yes, I've seen
That is where I went when I was a little boy.
That is-
Those days it was a proper primary school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you started school from there, and then you ended up in Tamale Secondary School.
I'm from Ofinso, as you asked. My mother was the Queen Mother, Nana Adra Pokia of Ofinso.
Okay.
So, I mean, so unfortunately for me, just after the 66 coup, my father passed on.
Oh, sorry.
And, you know, Ashantis, my father was a queen, my mother was a Queen Mother.
Yeah.
My father was an ex-military officer who was with the Workers' Brigade. So we all had to go back to Kumasi to my mom because of the death of my father.
Okay.
And we all went back and my mother took after us and, you know, at that time my sister had a baby. So I stayed in Kumasi and I went to City of Kumasi Preparatory School, Mr. Nkansa Jamna School. But I was always going back to Accra on a holiday.
Okay, to live with your sister.
Yeah, to live with my sister. I followed my sister everywhere.
Everywhere, okay. How
So-
many are you?
We're 9. But that
9.
my sister that I'm talking on has also passed on.
Oh.
She passed on about 6 years ago.
I'm so sorry about that. She must be your mom's first.
Yeah, first
She's
daughter.
a first
Yes,
daughter.
she's the
Okay.
first daughter.
Oh, wow.
Great.
So she even played a mom's role.
No, in fact,
Even
she
from-
really controlled me when I was growing up. She did everything.
So she's actually your mom.
She was my mom, yeah. Then my mom thought, hey, I wouldn't let this gentleman stay in Kumasi. I
Why?
want him No, she saw all the big names from Tamale, the names from people in Tamale. I said, no, Kojo, I want you to go to school in Tamale.
Okay.
I didn't argue with her. Because she was the breadwinner, she was controlling us.
It was
So
her
I went to
decision.
Tamale. And I must tell you, I really enjoyed staying in Tamale.
Tell me how an Asante boy got himself in Kumasi, and you're now telling me you enjoyed it. Did you even
I
speak
loved it
any
because
of their dialect?
no, I didn't at that time. We were all speaking English, and most of the people too could speak Chi.
Okay.
But the interesting thing is, one lawyer, Dieka, who I put up with when I was in Tamale, made it so interesting for me. And people like Alhaji Abukari Sumani, who was the former Ghana's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, and the former vice president, Alhaji Aliu.
Aliu Mama, okay.
Yes, I was always staying in their house. Anytime I go, I was changing houses. So I was really, made happy. And I had good friends in Tamale. Okay. So I enjoyed Tamale. On holidays, I didn't even want to come back to Accra in Kumasi.
I see.
That is how I started in Kumasi, in Tamale. I really love Tamale. From 1 to O levels in Tamale, it was a great time.
How was campus life?
Oh, in fact, if you still go to the school, I had my sign, the pound sign,
Okay.
at the school. I graffitied my pound sign everywhere in the school.
Oh, wow.
And everybody used to call me Mike Bonsu, Mike Bonsu, Mike Bonsu. And I was very popular on campus.
I see.
And that is why I really enjoyed Tamale, especially in the round hats. And I love T-shirts.
What kind of, you love T-shirts?
That
Not
was my favorite. Especially the T-shirt that is kept for the next morning. Wow. You warm it up, and I tell you, you'd never enjoy anything like
Really?
next morning T-shirts.
At your time, was there a place called Mbayahaya? It's a guinea fowl joint.
That's for guinea fowl joints. We had
There
plenty.
were many?
There were many.
Okay.
But hey, Tamale was a beautiful place.
Huh?
I had friends like the Kwafu. So at that time, Mr. Kwafu was the regional administrator, and the children were my friend Mark, Michael, Alice. All of them were my friends, and I enjoyed Tamale.
What kind of a student would you say you were?
I was a respectable person. When I get exams, I made sure I came on time.
Okay.
I didn't want to be under pressure by any master or have any bad treatment, from any master. So I was always on time.
A box sticker?
Yeah. But, hey, I was in the school band anyway.
Once a boy, always a boy, right?
I tell you, when we were doing our thing,
What were some of the bad things you guys did in school?
I'll tell you in confidence later.
But there are some you can share, right?
Sneaking out in the night to go to dance.
Okay.
If we hear Bisagoma is coming to Tamale or Uppers International is coming to Tamale, you must find me there. But I'll sneak out without exit.
And you were never caught?
Never caught, because I go out late and come out early morning too. The only thing that they would really see is that early morning I'll be still sleeping, and especially it's a Saturday morning. So,
they would know that.
Hey, nobody knows. So he's not well, he's tired.
Because you made it seem like you were the innocent
Sense
type, so they would
type.
never suspect that.
Good cop, bad cop, and a good cop, bad cop. I had good friends around,
Oh, wow.
The Minilas and I had many friends in Tamale.
You really had fun on campus.
Oh, I enjoyed Tamale. I didn't want to go home.
Oh, wow.
Even though I had the privilege of going to Kumasi or Accra back by air, but I didn't want to really, because I enjoyed my holidays there.
So
too.
at that time, you used to come back home by air.
That's right.
You were a Dadabi.
I wouldn't call myself a Dadabi, but I was treated well by my parents, especially my mom.
Oh, wow. Even though it was fun, I'm sure you experienced some challenges. What would you say was the biggest challenge for you at Tamale Secondary?
The only thing that I call it a challenge was the flow of water, because I wasn't used to that.
Okay.
Early mornings, you get up, want to be ready to go to class, no water. The taps were not flowing.
Okay.
So that was the only challenge that I have, serious challenge. And I didn't like it because I wanted water. And at times when you go to the bathroom, the taps were not flowing. And that is where I had a problem. But I think I enjoyed all my life in Tamale. The only sad part is that when I was finished, when the day that I finished my exam, my mom passed on.
Ooh.
Yeah, O-levels.
Goodness, how did you take that?
Oh,
That must have been
you should know,
traumatic.
I mean, I really wept that day that I have never forgotten how I wept. And, you know, they told me at the airport, they said, you know, after exam, I was going home, I thought, because when I arrived, the next 3 days, I'll be going into England. So I just was excited I was going home. I got to the airport and they called me into one of the rooms and they told me that, hey, that was a star story that happened yesterday. Oh, my God.
Goodness.
I got to Kumasi airport wailing. They came to pick me from the airport, went home, and I couldn't believe it. You know, she didn't try. Because I wanted to finish school and also pay her back and also, you know, because I remember the year before she died, we went to Italy, Rome.
Okay.
We went out there, went to a restaurant, going to eat, and the food we were eating was very spicy. So we wanted tomato ketchup. Then my mom said, would I know what to say to the waiter? And I said, oh, yes, I can say it. You know, I said, okay. And I said, oh, do you have cachopu capacha? The guy didn't understand what was going on. And my mother said, cachopu capach. So we were trying to pronounce tomato ketchup in Italian.
Goodness.
Then I said, cachopu capacha. Then my mom said, oh, shut up. We are looking at We didn't understand the thing, and the people didn't know all that we were looking for. So that is one of the things that I really remembered her. And I miss her so dearly that, you know, she always would pamper me, travel with her, do whatever I want to buy, she would buy for me.
Mommy's boy.
And it's so sad to miss a mother like that.
It is, and I'm sure, do you still miss her?
I do.
I mean, sometimes you weep when you remember.
Oh, as for weeping, but when I go into a very sad mood, especially the month that she died, she passed on June. Yes.
Okay.
And I really, really miss her. And you know, she was a prim and proper lady. She would tell you the right things. Hey, stop this, don't do this. I wouldn't agree. You're becoming this, you're doing that. No. But when she has to pet you,
she real.
Super.
Oh, wow.
Super. At that age, I was traveling everywhere.
I can imagine how you felt when you were told about her demise.
Yeah, may she rest in peace.
Yes, she I'm sure she's happy seeing you doing very well.
Oh, am I?
She should be happy.
I want to do better.
Definitely you will. But of course, I also know that you love sports. You've done a lot of sporting stuff, administration. You've worked with Adidas and all of that. We'll talk about that. But I know that kind of love started from school, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about
I became the team manager for our football team.
At Tamale Secondary?
Tamale Secondary School. At Form 3, I pushed and became like the team manager. Okay. But my sports that I was playing at school is hockey. I was playing hockey for the school team.
Okay.
But I grew up to become the regional and the team, the soccer team manager. So everybody used to call me TM, Mike TM, you know.
Okay.
And I remember I took the team to Damango for the regional school finals. And Abedi Pele and his team from Ghana Secondary School beat us. At that time, Abedi Pele, I was in Form 4. I think Abedi Pele was in Form 1 or something. Okay. But he came with a team, a strong team from Ghana Secondary School to beat our team. I mean, we had a very strong team. We had Ahmed Dauda, all the top players in our team. But they beat us and won the regional trophy. Okay. And that day, too, made me very sad because I had hope that I was bringing the trophy back to Tamasco for me to go and enjoy in Tamaklu House.
But that was short-lived.
It was short-lived. But I went on further. Before I left school, I was handling the team. Then I left, after my mom died, to UK.
Yeah. So you went to UK. Is it Brighton? Which school did you attend in London?
Oh my God. Where did you get this information from Drayton School? Let me tell you something. Very interesting.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I remember when my mom died and I went to England, my sister pushed and said, "Look, would you go? You have to go."
Okay.
But you see, when I went, I immediately got a job with William Shaw. Ghanaians call it call William Shaw. They used to do sandals and slippers.
When you got to the UK?
Yeah, first 2 weeks I got a job because I used to go there and work.
Okay.
And a young man at my age, I was getting £54 a week.
Whoa. At that time?
At that time, I was earning too much money. In fact, the people had so much confidence in me, they trained me as a chiropodist assistant.
Okay, what's that?
So like a chiropod is somebody who work on the foot or feet.
Okay.
So I was going to be like in a foot clinic, I'll be an assistant, like a nursing assistant there.
Okay.
I was trained. But hey, that was not me. I worked with them, made money. So the day that school was reopening, Drayton School, where's Michael Mensabozu? Zoom. Nowhere to be found.
You were not there.
I was not there.
You were busily making pounds.
Making money. But I was working and making money. So the story of Drayton School is that I never entered the place.
Goodness.
I didn't go. But I thought, hey, it's money that I want to make.
And I'm already making that.
I was an ogre. So to be honest with you, that is why I didn't go to Drayton School. And I'm surprised you got this story. Where did you get Drayton School story from?
I'll tell you later. Former mayor of Kumasi, he's Kojo Bonsu, and he's my guest tonight. We've been having fun on this show. When we return from this break, remember, he worked with Adidas. He became their representative in West Africa. He worked with Goyle, brokered a lot of deals for them. He's a politician, and I told you about his quest to become the NDC flag bearer in 2018. He'll be telling us more about those experiences, plus being a mayor of Kumasi, and also tell us at what point did he develop the love for politics? Because, I mean, listening to his story, he's been a businessman throughout. Stay with me. I'm coming right back. Welcome back to PM Personality Profile. My guest tonight, Kojo Bonsu, he's a former mayor of Kumasi, and he's been telling me a lot about his life. Whilst growing up, did you know that you become a politician, or were you nursing that politics idea?
No, I left politics because my father, as an Ashanti royal, he was one of the guys who really loved CPP.
Okay.
And I was always listening to him. So that is, I loved politics from my beginnings, but I didn't have how I could be in it. But I went into sports.
Let's talk about your career. I mean, you started with Adidas, was that your first job?
No.
When you came back to Ghana?
I had a company called Ashted Ghana Limited. And if you know, we're the biggest screen printers. I was able to convince an Austrian company, MHM, to give us the biggest carousel printing machine. We could print 1,000 T-shirts, full color T-shirts in an hour. Okay. And I started my industry at Jamestown. So I lived and worked in Palladium for a long time. So if you go to Palladium and you mention my name, Bonsu, all the kids will follow you. They're all grown up now. So that is how I started. Then I was printing JC, the numbers of JCs for the Black Stars. I realized that the Black Stars never had proper equipment like JZs. They would import hose and boots, and they were using Mingo, sewn locally, which I thought it was good. But you see, the equipment that we were using was not befitting the Black Stars. So I had a very good friend in the Ivory Coast who was the brother-in-law of Papa Ofui Boayin.
Okay.
He's called Simplice Sensu. He's my friend.
You speak French?
Un petit peu. Speak very good French.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Where did you learn that?
In Burkina Faso.
You live there too?
At that time, it was called Upper Volta. When I was in Tamale, that is where I was going, because then my brother-in-law had become the Ghana's ambassador to Upper Volta.
Oh.
So my holidays and everything. So you see, if I say I'm going to talk a lot, I'll even forget some. So my brother-in-law lived there. So I go on holidays. And when I go on holidays, there's a school called PMK. He put me there for me to learn French. So French is my number 3 language.
Wow.
So Ofobwain's son-in-law, who was a shipping magnate, Simplice Danzu, I went and had discussion with him. He became my friend as well. But all would go back to my Kotoko days when I came back to Ghana. I followed Kotoko. I bought jerseys from the UK, that is an Embro shirt, for them to win the African Cup with the jersey. So I brought some luck to Kumasi.
Oh, wow.
So we beat Elali in Kumasi to keep the African Cup. So I went to see Simplice Danzu in Abidjan, and I spoke to him that, hey, our Black Stars don't have good jerseys, and I want us to have very good jerseys for them. He just picked up the phone and made a phone call to Paris. That, hold on, Kojo, my prince. He called me Kojo, my prince.
Okay.
I'll call the owner of Adidas. No, I thought he was bragging, making sure, he likes, because he's a big guy, So he said he would call the man. Lo and behold, he called Bernard Tapie, who was the owner of Adidas then. He told him about me and told me that he has a very young friend who's very, forceful. I want him to come and see you for you to try and equip Ghana. And if you want, let him handle Adidas in West Africa. Very excited. And I spoke to Bernard Tapie. He asked me whether I spoke French. I said yes. So the following the third week, the team came to Ghana. They came with a contract to sponsor all the national teams. And if we qualified for African Cup of Nations, wherever we ended, like go to semi-finals, go to quarterfinals, the money you earn, win the cup, finals, and that's all. So they gave us a very good contract.
Okay. And
they were shocked. So they quickly signed. They didn't want to argue with them. They just gave it to a lawyer. They quickly signed the contract. Then after that, they said, okay, I should make sure that I handle them, how they wear their equipment and that sort of. So because of that, they would take me to Germany to go and attach the German national team so that I see how the equipment is distributed, how they handle things. And I stayed there for a month and I learned a lot.
Okay.
So we went back to the Adidas head office in Hexoak in Aroch. So at that place, I learned a lot. I was taught a lot there. So from there, when I came back to Ghana, I got a letter that you are going to represent us in West Africa. So you handle Nigeria, you handle Cameroon national team, you handle Mali, and you handle Senegal. So I was traveling here and there. Then I brought equipment to Ghana. Now, the other thing too is that when I got the deal for Ghana, I was able to promote the first international friendly for Ghana.
Okay.
And that was Ghana versus Germany.
Okay.
I promoted that. I brought the two FAs together. And that game came on. And we earned, the Ghana Football Association, and at that time, 350,000 Deutschmarks.
Oh, wow.
And they got free tickets for the game. They flew back and forth from Germany. Back and forth from here to Germany to play the game.
Really?
That is where we outdoed a very beautiful jersey. Adidas outdoed a very beautiful jersey that Ghana had with a splash on it. That's what Abedi Pele used.
Okay. Then you also had the opportunity to work with Goyle?
Yes. The opportunity that I had with Goyle, I'll call it very political, because when Professor Mills won power in 2008, in 2009, I was put on the board of Ghana Oil. So I was a board member. But at the board, I told them that, look, the filling stations that we are working for is an eyesore. It is people, they were not selling. At that time, they were selling less than 25 million liters.
Okay.
But I told them that, look, if we rebrand the station or the company, we would sell more, we would challenge Mobile and Total and Elf, all of them. Some of the members agree with me. Some said it was too an ambition. I said, yes. If you don't put in money, you don't get money.
Okay.
So I had to convince most of them individually. But in the end, they all came around and supported the idea. At that time, Professor Mills didn't believe in it. He just, oh, Kojo, the mazi ekofa be, boy, a cow pebre. I said, Prof, have confidence. And you know what he said? One thing that I want you guys to change is the filling stations, their bathrooms and their toilets. Very horrible, especially when you feel like going to the bathroom when you get there, you can't even use it. So please, if you are doing it, then make sure those things are done very well.
Okay.
Then I saw that I was getting the nod.
Okay. So
I was on the board and they made me the board member responsible for rebranding. As we were going on, the then MD, Mr. JoyNews, had to go on pension.
Okay.
So the board decided that I should take over as the MD of GOIL.
Okay.
And they were very excited that I took over because, but I got a lot of pull him down people that say, oh, he can't do it. He's never been to school. He doesn't have any petrochemical degree. He doesn't have anything. So it was like very difficult. But in the end, I became the MD and I proved my worth.
Oh, wow.
At that time, they were selling less than 25 million liters. I pushed them after rebranding to about 75 million liters.
Okay. Let's talk about your role as the mayor of Kumasi. But first of all, how did you even get into the NDC? When you decided that you want to be a politician, I mean, how did you land in NDC?
You'd be surprised. I was working behind the scenes.
Okay.
I was there during the birth of NDC.
Oh, really?
I remember when they started doing the designs for NDC. I was like a messenger taking the design to my dear sister, the former First Lady, Nana Konedu Ajiman Rawlings.
Okay.
No, she actually was my mentor who pushed me into NDC or who encouraged me to come to NDC.
Oh,
so they do the design of the koof. They call it the koof, not the eagle.
Okay.
Now, they do the design, we take it to her, say, oh no, change it like, you know, she's a designer. Yeah. Okay. So she said, oh, let's do it this way. And it was done very well. So the inception of NDC, I was there.
You were there.
So I didn't go into it. Right from there, I followed it quietly. Okay. And it got to a point that, hey, I have to come out.
Okay.
I played a very pivotal role during the 2008 campaign. For Professor Mills. Okay. I remember one day, Professor Mills, after we won the election, he called some few people and told them that under Kujo
Oh, wow. Wow, he was
appreciative. He really appreciated my work that I did. So I will tell you a lot about the work in camera.
Okay. But finally, you became mayor of Kumasi.
I did.
That must have been a tough role to handle, and earlier you told me how you need to be a tough person and to be someone who can think out of the box to be able to be a mayor of Kumasi.
Yes, I mean, when they told me that President Mahama told me that I was going to go to Kumasi, to be honest with you, I wasn't amused.
Okay.
I wasn't amused because I knew Kumasi was a terrible place, especially, I mean, for males. You know, you get the bash, any little thing that goes wrong.
Provocation.
But I consulted some big people from Kumasi. I said, no, Kojo, go for it. It doesn't matter. We know you can do the job. So I decided, I went back to President Mahama and told him, okay, I'll go for it. Because first I told him I wasn't too sure. I consulted some few people, consulted the king, Utumfo, and he said, okay, if you can do it, Kojo, why not? So President Mahama gave me my appointment letter, and I went to Kumasi. It was a difficult job, but there's a proverb in Akan that says, etutu esibe mabu.
Definitely.
So I took the bull by the horn and said, look, I should be able to do this job.
Yep.
I was very firm because I know that in Kumasi, if you joke, you'll be in trouble.
Yep.
I remember before I left to Kumasi, I had tea with President
Mahama?
No. President Jerry John Rawlings. I had a chat with him, you know.
Okay, before you left.
Before I was going to go. He told me that, also, one day you have to watch it too.
Yeah.
You have to be firm. You have to do the right things. You don't have to go there and disgrace us.
Yep.
You know, so Kojo, I have confidence in you, so you better do it well. And don't go and do things. Make sure that everything you're doing, you've noted it, you know. And I took his advice.
That's typical of expression.
Master, yes, Papa. So I went to Kumasi. I realized that I had to study the place, you know. Even though I was born, bred in Kumasi, I'm an Ashanti through and through, I decided that, hey, I have to make sure that I do well for my city, leave a legacy, and make sure that people will be happy from all that I would do there. We had a lot of problems, a lot of challenges.
Okay.
But I think by God's grace, I was able to handle it.
What would you describe as your biggest challenge as mayor of Kumasi?
My biggest challenge was how to deal with people, you know, who will come to your office, come and record you, and go and twist whatever you say. So I decided to stop anybody coming to my office with telephones.
Okay.
And you have to go through a security check before. But hey, this became another issue. That he decided not to allow people to come into his office. Another difficulty was making sure that Kumasi was cleaned. Because Kumasi is the center of the country. And by 9 p.m. in the evening, the city is still busy.
Yep.
And at 4 a.m., then the city starts again. So how could you get the city cleaned? Especially those women who bring bodia and cassava from villages. By 4 a.m., they've arranged their cassava. So when the sweepers and the cleaners are going around, they sweep. When they get there, oh, Papa also on tobo, so that he won't clean.
Yeah.
So it was like that, and the filth was compounding.
Yeah.
So I made a decision that no, we won't disturb them. People won't take their money, but we'll work in the night.
Okay.
We'll provide certain things for the workers so that they'll be excited. I was giving them coffee in the night.
Oh, wow.
And I got a lot of women with their kids working for us.
Oh,
even though work ethics is not right, but they wanted to work.
Okay.
So what I did was, in the night at 9 o'clock, my clean workers would come into the city. We would clean in the night till 3 a.m. By 3 a.m., we'll finish cleaning. So when the people come and do their work, nobody is coming to compound any filth there. So Kumasi was always clean. So when people came to me, I was very firm. When they want to build houses right along streams, I wouldn't agree. I was firm on those things. Then people said I was very arrogant. And this is not arrogance. It's performing your duty very well.
Do you regret ever taking those decisions?
No. I think I made Kumasi right now. Everybody is mentioning my name that I've done well. So it's not because I've done well, but because Kumasi needed a firm person. And that was me.
Was there a point that, some of the talks got to you that you even regretted? Oh, I shouldn't have taken this.
No. Before I started, I had a problem with it, but I said to myself, if you're a prayerful person, you never fear this. And every morning by 4 a.m., I'll kneel down and pray. Serious prayer, so because Kumasi, if you don't pray,
okay,
because you don't know what is happening in the next second.
Yep.
But I think I must thank God. It took me, I call it very successful reign or tenure of my office because prayer works. And I never regret working in Kumasi.
Definitely.
There were a lot of challenges, but I pulled through. I pulled through.
You did well, because a lot of people keep talking about you, and then someone told me you're the most popular mayor in Kumasi.
I don't think so, but I'm humbled.
You didn't talk about the KJTR market. I know you started it, and there were a whole lot of issues with that.
Yes, I went to court 32 times.
Oh, wow.
Because the women didn't believe that the market could be built.
Ooh.
They thought we were joking. Because I didn't understand it, because we had the loan. Parliament has given us approval. Cabinet has given us approval. Ministry of Finance is backing us. So the money was ready. So I didn't understand why they were pushing us, taking us to court. And I remember, very sadly, one day I went to court and I was nearly jailed for contempt of court by the judge.
Oh.
But let me thank my very good lawyer, my good friend, Thaddeus Sori. He was very good, defended me very well, and I was out of trouble. But let me tell you, this Kumasi job was quite an experience, you know. Now, when I sit back and I think of it, I get excited.
Yeah.
Even though it was very sad, women coming to my office in the morning when you get up in the house, your gate was with diabo eggs,
Really?
10 crates of eggs,
Goodness.
with schnapps, cursing you,
Ooh.
and all that. But when I sit back, I said, look, if you curse me, what are you cursing me? It's government's job.
Yeah.
You know, so I went through a lot. But one day, I made a very good decision because we couldn't enter KJTI itself, the old Prince of Wales Park, to do the development. So you know what I did? I called the police commander. Mind you, as a mayor, you are the head of the Kumasi Security Council.
Yeah.
So I called the military head and I called the police, Mr. Kofi Buachi. I called the fire service, I called the ambulance, I called all the groups and I told them that this is what I'm going to do. And I called the contractors that, look, do you have fencing that will be able to cordon the whole KJTR? They said, yes, they have.
Okay.
And I told them that then you guys should go and prepare of how to cordon KJTR within 2 hours.
Okay.
I asked them, can you do it? Go and rehearse it.
Okay.
And I begged the people that this is a secret nobody should know.
Okay.
So I told them that I need police people, I need military, I need police recovery trucks and everything. So one Sunday night, I assembled all these people at KJTR. Military was there, the fire service, even doctors were there because I wanted to be able to get the work done. So from 8 o'clock, about 10 o'clock in the night, everybody arrived. Then the commander-in-chief there, I gave the command that we should cordon the whole KJTR. And I told them to bring 4 40-foot containers. You know the zoo area, when you're coming down the zoo, coming from Fanochi.
Okay.
We put 2 40-foot containers to block the road. And we took another 2 40-foot containers to block the road so nobody can enter there. Then they they fenced the whole KJTR.
Oh.
They did it within 4.5 hours.
I'm sure that day you get more of the diabos.
Oh, I'm coming. It was a Sunday night, early hours of Monday morning. So we did that work and we covered the place. And in the night, it was drizzling. So what happened was the military were there, you know. So because of the drizzle, a lot of people had gone in. Nobody was out.
Okay.
So after fencing the whole KJTR, we blocked in. No cars could come in there. No car. When they got up, so we blocked the place, and all cars that was left in there in the night was towed outside, parked somewhere that they should go and pick. If you don't pick it up, it will be burnt.
Okay.
So by 1 a.m., the whole place was fenced. We had blocked the roads, and we had access. We had big gates done and everything. We used containers for gates and everything. The whole place was covered. So the next morning, people who were coming into KJTR couldn't enter. The whole place had changed. They were shocked. They couldn't believe it. That was the reason why we were able to get access to work on KJTR. Oh, some people started. He started mining gold. Or yeah, galamsey, or yeah, Kojo Bonsu, or yeah, Krongfo, or yeah, galamsey. You know, but I thought it was a bit uncalled for.
Yeah.
In the sense that I was pouring my heart out working for Kumasi, my grandparents' land.
Yep.
So I didn't see why people should do that, you know, and still I was getting the push. But the contractors, the name is called Contractor from Brazil, also did well. So when I got access for them, they started seriously working. And lo and behold, today
This is what we
we
have
have
as the
a beautiful edifice, the KJTR market.
Wow.
So that is what I went through.
Let's look at the local governance system and the fact that, number one, people are talking about internally generated funds that could help the assembly's work. I mean, for you, how can we achieve this?
We were starting something very great in Kumasi. And I hope they are following it because I left my handing over notes like that. I was able to convince government, and President Mahama did well. They gave us the loan. So the facility was given in the name, not in the name of government of Ghana, but in the name of KMA, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly.
Okay.
On the back of government giving the sovereign guarantee. So that the money was given to us, we will work and pay the loans. So the structure was to get the market. The loan was in our name. We were paying through Ministry of Finance, Bank of Ghana, Government of Ghana, so that we paid the loan, so that you end up seeing that we have a very big facility. Because 295 million was a lot of money.
Yep.
And if you look at the books, it was on our books. So that means KMA will be able to stand strong, will be able to go anywhere and borrow money. That is how the loan was structured.
Okay.
And that was going to, they did that to Tema and I think Accra Metropolitan Assembly. So this would help the assembly to become very independent. So later on you could do other projects by going for same other facilities, by it being guaranteed by government, and on the back of the money that you have, you can use it to go and borrow. And I think it was a good thing the government was doing, so that we have our own money, we do our own markets, we do our own roads, more money will come, and the assembly will be independent, will have its own money. That was the structure. And I don't know whether they are continuing that. Because the money that the market women will pay should be able to pay the loan and also should have good books.
But also there's been calls for amendment of the local governance law so that we can have some of the challenges we're having right now settled. Are you of the same view?
I think we haven't exhausted the whole governance law very well. So I think we need time. We don't have to go and sort of amend it immediately, because we should, maybe parts that we want to amend is that we should make the president select all the 16 metropolitan assemblies, their mayors or their heads, and the rest should be voted upon. Because the president wouldn't know everybody in all the 230 districts. Then you sit in Accra, you appoint somebody who you don't even know, then the person will go and mess up and mess your government up. But if the local people vote for that person, yes, but for Kumasi, Tema, Takoradi, Sekondi Takoradi, all those big places, I think as for that one alone, so there should be a caveat in the constitution if it's being changed, that those municipal metropolitan assemblies will be selected, there are 16 will be selected by the president. Then the rest, 230, should be voted for.
In the next few days, the list that has come out, they will be inaugurated. What are your expectations?
I mean, normally, I've never seen, normally the assembly members use that as a making money thing. What they do is that last minute they will just try and try to tell you that come pay some money, otherwise we won't vote for a person. So they vote and it's slim, you won't get the full 2/3. Then later on when you sort them out, they'll come and vote you out. It's something that is going to happen in the next week. But I think I want to see this opportunity to wish the Kumasi mayor well, because it's a difficult task. You have to really shake and be tough. If you're not tough, you can't do the job.
Can do the job.
So I wish him well.
Right. Kojo Bonsu, he's my guest tonight. He's a former mayor of Kumasi. He's also a politician and a businessman. And of course, he has love for sports as well. When I return from this break, we'll be talking about his love for sports. He gave us a bit about his sports life, but I'll also be gauging his mood on some recent happenings in our sports terrain. He would also be telling us about why he says we should treat sports devoid of politics. Is it possible? Is it something that we can achieve? He'll be telling us all of that, plus his family values and his love for swimming. He'll get to sing a bit for us also. You don't want to miss all of that. Stay with me. I'm coming right back. Welcome back to PM Personality Profile. My guest, Kojo Bonsu, former mayor of Kumasi. He's been sharing with me some experiences as mayor of Kumasi. Let's talk about sports. And recently, we've seen what happened with the Black Star coach, the Black Star team, and all of that. I mean, when it happened, you saw the reaction that greeted the decision. What do you make of all that has happened?
I think recently I had an interview on Joy Sports.
Yes.
And I said, we should all come together and have a national policy for sports. And I believe, because if the Black Stars win, or if Hearts win and Kotoko win, you see the excitement in the country.
Definitely.
The whole euphoria changes.
Yeah.
So why don't we all become one, make good decisions that will help the country?
Yeah.
But because one will say this MPP coach and NDC coach, it doesn't work for Ghana. Look, when Black Stars are playing, people wear the Ghana shirt, they all go excited, no MPP, no NDC, Ghana flag.
It's
I remember the 1990s, 2006, Germany, South Africa, 2010. You see how Ghanaians came together.
Yeah.
Why can't we still do it? Let's do it devoid politics and make sure that we are one. Now, you pick a coach, the person loses a match because you want to win all the time, you sack him. It won't help.
Okay.
And also, we are not grooming more players now. I'm sure if you go to Senegal, there are plenty academies there now. And you see that if Mane is not there, Diop is coming. If Diop is not coming, in Damba and Baye. You see, Senegal is developing because they took to sports, soccer development. But we are not doing that. We have only few academies. But we should concentrate on treating the boys well and making sure that every player going out is well looked after, or maybe gone through a proper contract so that we can have a better team. But you see, if in football, if you keep changing coaches, you won't be able to achieve what we want. We should have a national dialogue on soccer and decide on what we want to do. We want to qualify for Qatar 2022. Is that right? Qatar 2022, we knew that we would play South Africa. We're going to play Zimbabwe. We're going to play Ethiopia. So the whole nation should focus on it. Our minds should go into going to beat South Africa, going to beat Ethiopia, going to beat Zimbabwe and qualify for Qatar. So it should be full support. No fighting here, no insults here. Let's look at it and plan well. If we do that, I think we can achieve the fleece.
Okay.
But the thing is that the FA doesn't have any stability because when they select somebody to do the work, the pressure will start coming. Then they will change the person. They also wouldn't go for it and say that, look, we have confidence in this man, we're going to keep him to do it, and you know, just go with it. But immediately the pressure starts coming, they also become jittery, then they change. Then we go, bam, we lose. We go, bam, we lose. I think we should have a national policy, I keep saying, on sports. We all should bury our differences, MPP, NDC. Then we come together. Then we all decide that, look, we want a local coach. We want an assistant from outside. Our technical team should be made up of this. Then we know that this is where we are going. All the coaches, all the teams national teams that have coaches from their local, they have foreign backers. You know, and we haven't done a football plan, our kind of play. If we are playing local samba, we should do that.
Okay.
And make sure that we have a proper plan. You know, work on it. Not immediately 2022, we'll start working 2021. No. We should start grooming a team 6 years in advance, 8 years in advance. Then we start picking and adding to it. Then in the end, we'll be able to achieve all that we want to do in soccer. Because you cannot just get up and one day pick up a team, go and play and win. No.
So as the team prepares for Qatar 2022, what are your expectations?
I think they've made a decision to change the coach. I think we should have taken, there's a gentleman who I really think he would do well, Silas Tete. I think we should have brought in Silas Tete and look for somebody like Otuadu or a Champong or even this guy, Marcel, should come and help build a strong team.
Okay.
And I think if we concentrate on selecting a good team, training, hard work, we can qualify for Qatar 2022.
Okay. So away from sports politics, let's talk about proper politics. And in 2018, you declared your intention to contest. Are you still nursing the ambition to contest for flag bearership?
Not yet.
Okay.
When we get to the bridge, we will cross it.
When is the bridge coming and how are we crossing it?
We all don't know. We're in a limbo. Yes, I have a presidential ambition.
Okay.
I do. But we're just looking at what's going on at the moment. And if things get better, that's why I said when we get to the bridge, we will cross it.
Okay.
As for presidential ambition, I definitely have it.
Okay. So after that 2018 race, what's next for you as Kojo Bonsu?
At the moment, I'm helping the party to reorganize so that we would win 2024.
You're sure of that?
Oh, yes. It's very positive.
Okay.
It's doable. It's achievable. The thing is hard work. So at the moment, the most important thing is that we need to reorganize the party to be able to bring the golden fleece. And that's all we're doing now.
Wish you all the best in all that you're doing for the party and for yourself. But which of your kids are towing your line? Business, sports, politics?
My kids, definitely I want to have a replica.
Okay.
And my son Michael, I'm trying to push him into it. He's learning very hard.
Okay.
So I think Michael will become a politician.
Ooh, wow. How many of them?
5.
Boys?
3 boys, 2 girls.
Oh, have you bought a gun already?
A gun?
Okay.
Why? I'm praying that people will come and marry them. I wouldn't fight any man who wants to marry my daughter.
Okay.
No way. I don't believe in guns.
But how is your relationship with them?
Oh.
What kind of a father are you?
I'm a very firm father.
Okay.
Very stern. I always would want you to go through the hard way. They're not very happy with me when it comes to these things, but we are very close. We talk. We do a lot of things together. Luckily, at times you might not be lucky. Luckily, they all listen to me. They all follow me. My little one, Mami Sika, she's still at school. My other daughter, Nana Echa.
Okay.
The 2 girls, I love them.
I know, girls and their fathers.
You see? I think I've had good children.
Okay.
They listen to me.
Oh, wow. Your family must be proud of you for all that you've achieved for yourself and the family. But when you retire, at the end of the day, what do you do to relax?
Listen to cool music, swim, and enjoy my home.
Is that the only sporting activity you do now?
Once in a while, I walk
Okay.
just to throw away some fat
Okay.
and swim.
Okay, I guess we'll get opportunity to see you swimming just a little for our viewers.
Okay,
A promise
Okay.
is a promise.
we'll do it.
But what kind of music do you enjoy? I know you enjoy a lot of music.
Yes, I'm a music man. I've worked with a lot of musical groups
Yeah.
before.
You told me about Usibisa and the other group you brought
Yeah,
to
and
Ghana.
Cool and the Gang, and also a lot of local groups.
Okay.
You know, before I wanted to go into the industry, but I decided to stop. I listen to good music. I like jazz. I like Beethoven,
Okay.
Pavarotti,
Uh-huh.
George Benson, El Clue,
Okay.
Daddy Lumba, Jaco Nimo,
Okay.
and a lot of local music. I listen to good music. I
Wow.
love with good sound. I love music.
Music is food to the soul, so definitely. I'm not surprised that you love music, but which among all of these is your favorite?
My favorite one is a local one.
Okay. Which one is that?
It's called Odoyiwu Abesima Dampai.
Sung by who?
It's a local folklore, but I love it.
Okay.
Want me to sing it to you?
Please, honorably.
Odoyiwu Abesima Dampai, Adampro Inkru.
How do
Odoyiwu Abesima Dampai.
wait, how do you dance there?
It's
Adwa.
Adwa.
Is it like this or like this?
No. It's like this, like that,
So like
this, and like that.
Okay, so sing for me. I'll dance
Although
for
you
you.
are beside them by Adampo Inkru, Neko Besi, Yamuse wa ne wa beba, Yamise Minkoda Dampo Inkru, Adampo Inkru. Although you are beside them by Adampo Inkru, Neko Besi, Yanise wa ne wa beba, Yanise Minkoda. Adampo Inkru,
He has a beautiful voice too.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kojo Bonsu, for allowing us into your life. We're extremely grateful and we wish you well in all your endeavors. I mean, you say you have a political ambition coming up. We don't know when we're crossing that bridge, but we wish you well when that bridge comes and we decide to cross.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so for allowing
your
us.
boss, Kwesichum, is my very. We grew up together.
Okay.
So send my regards to him. And I thank you all for the yeoman's job that you're doing for this country.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for appreciating us. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching. Same time next week, we'll be bringing you another exciting edition of PM Personality Profile. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. My beautiful dress was made by Needle Thread Designs. Call them on 0543196451 at 34 West Loop, Tesanohi. Enjoy the rest of our programs.